All right, Chicago, we are back. And it's time for us to head into the trade deadline of year number 4 with your Chicago Blackhawks. A bit of a rocky season, especially at the start. Trying to figure out which lines worked out for our Blackhawks, but finally I got on top of it, and we look to be a playoff-bound team with a record of 38-23-3. Oh, hang on a second. And if I bring up our division, we are second in our division, only 1 point behind Dallas, although they have 3 games in hand, and the final wildcard position in the West is at 70 points, so we have a good 9-point lead right now on the final wildcard team. So as long as we keep playing like we have in the last 10 games with a record of 6-3-1, we will easily make it into the playoffs. Now, I wanted to stop it at the trade deadline because I said it in the last video, the window is closing for us to get another Stanley Cup with guys like Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, and yes, even Duncan Keith. Sergei Bobrovsky as well, because he's getting up there. Now, at the beginning of the last video, I thought that Patrick Kane still had his exact elite potential. I guess it must have only been 3 bar, because look now, 4 bar, and it doesn't change over the course of the year. So 4 bar, and it says top 6 forward. So Patrick Kane, his potential is now a top 6. So more than likely, we've seen his last year at 90 plus overall. Next season, he's probably going to drop just like Jonathan Toews did, down to 87. And Jonathan Toews also has that top 6. So they're going to be able to play for next season. They're going to be in the last year of their $10.5 million contract, but they're not going to be as good as they are this season. So we've really got to take a chance and go all in at this year's playoff run, which means I have to make some trades at this year's trade deadline, right? So, yeah, I showed you guys those guys. Duncan Keith, I mean, he's dropped to a 7th defenseman now. He's down to 77 overall, so I've really got to get some backup for him in the playoffs. It'd be nice to give him another Stanley Cup, but if he's not performing well, then I'm going to have to take him out. So far during the regular season, though, he's +9, so he can finish the year on our team, but just for the playoffs, I've got to be ready. And when you take a look at Sergei Bobrovsky, good news about him, he still has the exact elite potential, and we have him for another year after this one. So, yeah, it's 2 more years. This year and next year, we have to find a way to win a Stanley Cup, because after that, I mean, all these guys are gone, and it's going to have to be a rebuild time for the... Well, not a rebuild, because we have a lot of young players coming up. I don't think we'll struggle, but a retool. It's not going to be Patrick Kane, Toews, and Keith running this show anymore. It's going to be new guys. So what can we do to improve this roster? I was already on the lines. Let me bring them up again. The top 6 is fine. The first line and the second line, we just need them to produce in the playoffs. The third and fourth line, I have not been able to get them going at all. I thought Jackson Kostopoulos at 83 overall would have been fantastic, but unable to find the right combinations for him. He is -18 on the season, more than likely not going to win the Calder, but that's okay. He was a playoff performer for us last year. I'm hoping that he can do it again for us this year. I was thinking about trading him because his trade value has skyrocketed. I could basically get any player in the league with Jackson Kostopoulos in like a first, but he's on a minor league deal right now, which means he's nice and cheap, and I want to give him the chance to grow, so I'm not going to part ways with him. But players like Schmaltz, Wood, Coleman, Larson, Hayden on the bench, we have McGinn, we have Donskoy, a bunch of depth two-way forwards. Hayden's a power forward, but I think I want to get a playmaker, maybe even a sniper in there to help out with some depth goal scoring, and keep the guys that we know can kill penalties, but part ways with guys like, I think Coleman, he's 30, signed him in free agency, he's only got 1 year left, I don't need to bring him back for next season, and same thing with John Hayden. He had a good playoff run last year, but as the power forward, he's not killing penalties, and his numbers aren't great. He's 27, so he's a UFA. I could part ways with him as well, alright? So, I've already done some pre-scouting. Let's go to the trading block, well, not the trading block, the proposed trade screen. We are at the trade deadline here, ladies and gents, and the Chicago Blackhawks are going to make some noise. So the first team that came to mind was the Detroit Red Wings. I love the veteran, Henrik Zetterberg, who more than likely will retire after this year. He's 41 years of age, but he still has 80 overall, and that's 4 bar 80, and it's 4 bar bottom 6. So I could throw him in the bottom 6 for 1 more season, purely as a rental, and see what he does. Now, he's a -12 this season, but time on ice, 1039. So it doesn't seem like Detroit is playing him at all. But if you take a look at his numbers, I mean, they're all 4 bar stats, so we know that those are real. I love everything. The only thing that's low for him is the physical category. If the physical was mid-80s, this guy would be like 83, 84 overall. His puck skills, senses, shooting, defense, and even skating is just fine for a third or fourth line playmaker. And if you take a look at his individual stats, I love that he has that poise, but you can be trusted. I mean, as a playmaker, more takeaways to giveaways. He's not throwing hits or blocking shots, but we already have 6 guys like that in the bottom 6. I could bring in a veteran who is better with moving the puck, not losing the puck, and actually can make something happen. So Henrik Zetterberg, I'm going to add him to the deal, all right? And also from the Detroit Red Wings, a brother of a teammate that we already have, or a player that we already have, Jordan Schmaltz, baby, brother of Nick Schmaltz. Now, he is a right-handed defender, 28 years of age. He's only got 1 year left at 2.365, so purely a rental again. If we can bring him back, we can bring him back. If not, too bad. Take a look at those individual stats. I like it. We bring this guy in as a penalty killer, somebody who can play alongside of Duncan Keith. Take a look at his stats. All right, he hits. He blocks shots, a little bit more giveaways to takeaways. That always happens with guys who hit, though. And the guy who he would be replacing would be Santini. And Santini I just gave a contract to. So Henrik Zetterberg and Schmaltz. Now what I also want to do is I want to get Detroit to retain half the salary, just so we can make another move. So Schmaltz, hang on a second. Let me throw him in there. All right, bring in the brother chemistry. All right, so they both have 1 year, no extensions, and we're getting Detroit to retain both their salaries so we can save up some money. Going back the other way now, who does Detroit want? I see what I mean about Jackson Kostopoulos' trade value. I mean, I could get like Sidney Crosby. I could get Connor McDavid. I'm pretty sure with that. Give him Kostopoulos in like a first and a second, and I think it'll go through. But we're not doing that. I want to hold on to Jackson. He's 83 with 20 years of age, medium elites. He was a stud for us, and I've grown him in the AHL. I want to see if he can produce. Bachvis, Panarin, Sanheim, DeBrincat, Yokoharju, Johnson. I'm not parting ways with any of my rookies. That's the retool that I'm talking about in 2 years. It's going to be perfect. Bjorkstrand, Nemesnikov, Koivu, Chabarov, Koloslov, Vishnevsky, Kavanagh, Schmaltz, Keane, Andronov, Jensen, Santini, Hayden. All right, so they want John Hayden, 80 overall. He would be the guy that I would be willing to part ways with, one of the bottom 6 players. So boom, and Santini as well. He's going to be replaced by Schmaltz. I'm going to get that $2 million for 3 years off my team, so we'll be good for next season. So Hayden and Santini for Zetterberg and Schmaltz. They are retaining salary, but it's less than $3 million just for the end of this season, so it's not that long. That might even go through the way it is. If not, I can always add in a draft pick or a prospect, but let's see if it goes through. So Hayden and Santini for Zetterberg and Schmaltz. Will it go through? Trade rejected. All right, I didn't quite think it would go through. So if we're gonna do that, let me think here. Let me think. Draft picks. Don't want to trade away my first for this season. Don't want to trade away my first for next season. I want to hold on to my second for the next trade I want to make. Goalies. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll give, because we have this Punanov's guy who is now 74 overall, which is perfect because he's got 3 years left. When Bobrovsky goes in 2 years, this guy's going to be ready to take it on. Not next season, but the season after that. So the timing for the goaltenders are perfect. But this guy, Antilla, he's got a little bit of trade value. He is a fringe starter. I haven't signed him just yet. Let's get him off the team. Let's see if that's enough. I think we're right there. Let's see, trade rejected. On the surface, the trade looks good, but we're not so keen in keeping the amount of salary you want us to. All right, so it's just the salary cap situation right now. Santini, Antilla. All right, so if I do all that, is there anyone else I could trade away? Who else do they want? Skaters matching the block. I can make this go through, but I got to save some money. I don't want to trade away any of these guys in green. Let me see. First... Can always trade away a second. You know what? I might even go the second. Let me just try the third. If the third doesn't work, I'll go the second. So Hayden, Santini, Antilla, and a third for Zetterberg and Schmaltz. Will it go through? There it is. All right. On behalf of the Detroit Red Wings organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out on the ice. Errors in my lines. I'll take care of that in a second. Yeah. Can I back out? I'm gonna have to do this. Hang on a second. Edit lines. Let me just put them in the lineup, and then I'll show you guys what lines I have in mind after this. So first up, it was Zetterberg, Hank. All right, very good. And the next one, it was Santini. We're going to replace with Nick Schmaltz's brother, Jordan Schmaltz. All right, so there you go. A little bit of an upgrade right there on the blue line and also an upgrade in the bottom six, but we're not done. Remember how I said I wanted to find a sniper to play alongside of Jackson Kostopoulos? Well, I think I can get it done here with the Minnesota Wild, all right? They're 21, 32, and 9, having a shitter of a season, and they want to part ways with a bunch of players. Now, Nino Niederreiter, 1 year left, no extension, right? Nino Niederreiter. Let me take a look at his numbers here. Now, Zetterberg takes a lot of shots, and we just picked up Hank, and he's going to be the center. Jackson Kostopoulos could be on the left wing, and then we get a right wing sniper. Now, he doesn't. He gets a lot of assists, which will be good for Zetterberg, and also good for Jackson Kostopoulos. He's not like a pure sniper. He's not a guy who's just going to get like 300 shots a season. But take a look at his actual stats. See, what's the most shots he's had? Like 183. I mean, that's low. So he's more of like a playmaker, but that's okay because Henrik Zetterberg takes some shots and so does Jackson, but you can trust him. He's not going to throw the body. He's not going to block shots, but you can trust him defensively. Takeaways to giveaways, looking great. So we're getting better defensively, but also upgrading our offensive abilities with these players. Now, this is more than likely going to be a rental. He's 29. He's got 1 year left. He's making 5 right now. I don't see me being able to sign him next year unless I get creative and trade away like Nemesnikov and then get him back. But I don't know. This is a pure rental. But I did say that we have to go all in, don't we? We have to go all in. So Nino Niederreiter for, let me see here. Who do they want? Who do they want? It's going to have to be a roster player. Panarin, DeBrincat, Bjorkstrand, Nemesnikov, Kostopoulos, Schmaltz, Jensen, Koivu, Kolashev, Vishnevsky. Yeah, I don't want to trade away any of these guys, so what about draft picks? Let's see. Yeah, they do want a first. So a first for next season, that makes sense for them. So you know what? Fuck, I won't even go in the next season first. I'll give them this season's first. Yeah, why not? There you go. So this season's first for Nino Niederreiter, but what I have to do for Nino is I have to get them to retain half the salary as well. And yeah, it's saying Chicago's salary will be in the green, so I think we'll be okay here. 2.6, all right. First, and I'm going to have to trade them back a roster player anyways. So forwards, who would it be? Hang on a second. Who would it be? It would be, I already got rid of, who did I get rid of? It was Hayden. I want to keep Wood. I want to keep McGinn. I want to keep Donskoy. I want to keep Zetterberg, Andronov, Schmaltz. It was Coleman. Yeah, Coleman was the one. 30 years of age, UFA, sign him in free agency. I can part ways with Coleman because I just picked up another center in Zetterberg, and Nick Schmaltz is the, he's the third center. Zetterberg's the fourth center. So Coleman and a first for Niederreiter at 50% salary. Will it go through? Trade accepted. I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Minnesota Wild, and we consider it a done deal. So bye-bye draft picks, but we are going all in on this year's playoff run with the Chicago Blackhawks. So I think that's everyone. So in the system, I'll just show you guys who we have for the playoffs in case anything happens. We have Andronov, we had Rodriguez, we have Ryan Callahan, Soshnikov, Zykov, Noel Achari, Seth Griffin. We have a lot of guys that we can bring up forward-wise. All right, but these two guys are the top two. And then defensemen, we have Jensen, Snuggerud that we can bring up, and we also have some players on the team. So we have plenty of depth for the playoff run, all right? Depth is not going to be an issue, except maybe between the pipes, but that goes for a lot of teams. What team has like 3 starting goaltenders? So let me go to edit lines. Yeah, let me go through with this. You know what? I'll just go through all this to make sure. Power of video editing, let's jump to the next scene. All right, so here we go. The team for the Year 4 playoff run is set. We got Panarin, DeBrincat, Kane, Nemesnikov, Taves, Bjorkstrand. The new third line, Jackson has moved back up with Henrik Zetterberg and Nino Niederreiter. So pretty good third line now, right? I'm hoping that it is still good defensively. Zetterberg can be trusted defensively. Niederreiter could be trusted defensively. They're not like body checkers. They're not penalty killers. They're not going to go in there and take the puck away, but they're going to be holding on to the puck, trying to create that offense. And we're going to see if we can spark Jackson Kostopoulos. He gets to play with a veteran, and he gets to play with a guy in his prime who can score goals and also pass the puck. So no excuses for Jackson. In fact, oh shit, do I have a pen down here? I got to try to remember these numbers. 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points. That should be easy. 7 and 13 and a minus 18. So 20 points, 7, 13, and 20, and a minus 18 for Jackson Kostopoulos. There's no way I'll remember Henrik Zetterberg's numbers as well. All I got is 7, 13, 20, and minus 18. You guys remember the Zetterberg numbers and the Nino Niederreiter numbers, and we can see what that line did from now to the end of the season. All right, I don't need them to score a lot of goals. I just need them to go plus. And when the playoffs happen, it's a playoff move. The depth really comes through in the playoffs, and that's a filthy third line. And don't worry about Zetterberg's 80 overall. It's more like 83, 84. The only thing that's low on him is the physical category. Puck skills is 5-star, senses is 5-star, shooting is 5-star, defense is 5-star, and skating is 5-star. All right, this guy, he's good. Don't worry about him. Miles Wood, Schmaltz, and Larson, they're going to be our fourth line for the playoff run, but we can always switch up Jonas Donskoy and Brock McGinn if we need to. And on the blue line now, I think our blue line got even better. We have Sanheim, Bachvis, Jokiharju, Ekholm, Duncan Keith, who I kind of want to replace, but it's his last season. I got to think that this guy's going to retire. If he doesn't retire, we're going to be in a rough spot with the salary cap situation. If he does retire, we might be able to bring back Nino Niederreiter. It depends. Jordan Schmaltz, though, he's a big upgrade from Santini. Santini had a lot of giveaways. Sure, he was that defensive defenseman, but Jordan Schmaltz is a top 4 defenseman. On the low side of a top 4 defenseman, but I'm hoping that he can really help out Duncan Keith, and that just makes us better. He helps out our penalty kill, which he is now on. Power play looks like that. I haven't touched that. Penalty kill, it's going to go Schmaltz, Wood, and then Schmaltz as well. So the two Schmaltz brothers are killing penalties together. And then Kostopoulos is back on the penalty kill, but with Jonathan Taves. All right, because I traded away Coleman, and I traded away, what's his name? Hayden. So I didn't want to put, I got Miles Wood in there. I didn't want to put Larson, and I didn't want to put Nino Niederreiter or Zetterberg. So it's got to be Jackson Kostopoulos, all right? So that is that. Goaltenders, yeah, Bobrovsky's taking a break. Scratch players, we have Galvis on the point, Donskoy and McGinn up front. And then the AHL, we have Andronov up front, Rodriguez up front, and Jensen on the point. So, and Talola, Fallen, and Snuggerud are all 78 overall as well. So, I mean, I got like 4 forwards in case of injuries, and I have like 3 defensemen in case of injury. So we are good to go. This is the team that hopefully can take us into the year 4 playoffs, and we gave up another first rounder for this year. So I'm hoping that we can continue to find some good players deeper in the draft, but going all in here, boys, all in. And the first rounder for next year might be going all in as well. But you got to think, I didn't trade away any of our younger players. We have all of those young prospects still. Didn't have to trade away. We traded away that one fringe starter, but we still have a bunch of young prospects, so we don't have to worry about draft picks right now. We'll have a nice transition. So there's no more talking. Let us continue and see how we finish off the year. Come on now, Jackson. 7, 13, 20 points and a minus 18. Let's see if that can improve. So I might as well just go all the way down here. Yeah, we had the lines pretty good. I haven't changed anything. I just made the trades. Yeah, all right. So Nino Niederreiter, Zetterberg, and Kostopoulos. That's the new line that I'm hoping can put us over the top for the playoff run. Last year, we stopped scoring goals. So when the first line stopped, the second line was there, but that's all we had, right? The third and fourth line, they did good for what they are, but to have some studs who might be able to play like second liners on the third line, Nino Niederreiter and Zetterberg. And I mean, Jackson, I know he's had a bad rookie season, but he might awaken in the playoffs. You never know. Now, imagine we miss the playoffs. Come on now, boys. Don't do this to me. Oh, Jesus. An overtime loss, a shootout loss. I mean, we've been pretty good in overtime this year. That's only our 5th in total. Don't worry about it. We're 16 games above regular 500. Yeah, we're in the playoffs. We're definitely in the playoffs. Just don't go on a 10-game losing streak. What was that one that we had with the last GM? What was the final stretch or something? It was like 3-17-1 or something. It was ridiculous. Central Scouting Rankings. Yeah, sure. You know what? While we're here, this is not going to be that long of a video. Let's take a look. Ooh, Eddie Simpson. We have a franchise sniper who is showing up. First overall this season. Very good. Well, we're not getting any of these picks. Not getting any of them. Let's see. Is there any depth elite players like Kostopoulos that we could find? Here we go. 63. That's going to be... Oh, that's the 3rd round, but it's a goaltender. 75. Medium elite. Maybe Connor Chung. All right, so let's let our scouts do their job. We should be able to find some decent depth or some decent deep draft picks. And we are losing some games, but they're all in overtime. That's 4 overtime losses, including like shootout losses as well, since the trade deadline. And before that, we had 3 the whole year. Oh my God. There you go. Get some wins. Ooh, 2 regulation losses. We're at 95 points. Let's have a 100-point season, boys. Come on, there you go. 97, 99. All we need is one more point, and we have got a 100-point year. There it is, 101, 103, and 10. What's going to be the final number? We just traded for Nino Niederreiter. He's playing against his old team. Oh, yeah, I have to simulate. There you go. Last game of the year, Minnesota Wild up against Chicago, and it's a 3-0 victory. All right, I really like how we're coming into the playoffs. Coming into the playoffs on a 5-game winning streak, and Sergei Bobrovsky's back-to-back shutouts. Good. So after a rough start to the season, we finished with 1 game less than 50 wins, which is really good anytime you get to 50 wins. Second in our division, just missed out on catching the Dallas Stars, even though we had that fantastic end to the season. Buffalo beat us. We beat everyone in the Metro, and Calgary beat us. So we are 4th in the NHL. Good season. Very good season. Now, no one was point per game, but I'm willing to bet that because I made these trades, the depth goal scoring, it's all being spread around a lot more. I've noticed in this game, if you stack 4 lines full of superstars, you won't get 4 lines worth of goals. By the end of the year, the 4th line will only have 40 points, 30 points, something like that, even if it's Crosby and McDavid back there. The game doesn't enhance it. It just rounds it out. You'll be a better team, though. You'll win more games, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So let's take a look at all the player stats. I want to see what the third line did, and we can take a look at the team that we're going up against here in the playoffs. So team stats. Chicago, 2.66 goals for per game. Look what I mean. The Dallas Stars, 2.93. They're going to be a tough team to face in the playoffs. I don't want to go up against them. But our goals against really did start to drop back off. 2.38, so good. We started to play much better defensively. Power play percentage in the 20s. My God, Colorado, a 35.3% power play. They must be horrible 5-on-5 because those numbers are ridiculous, man. I mean, if they're getting 3 power plays a game. Yeah, 3 power plays a game, they're getting a goal. That is insanity, man. Holy shit. Yeah, 35, 75. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just doing some quick math in my head, boys. Penalty kill percentage. All right, so our PK, remember... Oh, no, there it is, 75.5. Remember, it was at 60, so it caught back up. I'd be willing to bet it's been clicking above 80 since the 60 mark. It just had to even out. And our last 10, 7, 2, and 1. Very good. So Central Division, the entire league, just to show you guys where we sit. Chicago is 4th in the NHL. Only 5 teams with 100 points or more. So a very, very good season. And we had more goals for per game than the top team. But yeah, Buffalo, very good defensively. It's probably that goaltender looking in or whatever his name is. All right, so player stats. Let's take a look at this. So yeah, see how the first line, they weren't scoring, they were scoring great at the beginning of the season, but by the end they slowed down a little bit, but their plus minus is fantastic. Plus 25, plus 21, and DeBrincat plus 20. Patrick Kane, 37 goals, so he's definitely going to drop off for next season if he only had a 67-point year, but we're going all in this season. He's going to be 92 overall for the entire playoff run, so I'll take that. Nino Niederreiter, how many points did he have before I traded for him? Don't know, but that's what we can expect, all right? We got a nice little guy like this on the third line, plus 7, very good. Bjorkstrand, 43 points, 23 goals, very good depth. Nemesnikov, 42 points. Jonathan Toews, only 37 points, interesting. Don't know why. I guess he's not much of a point producer. His offensive awareness, 87. Passing is only 88. Fair enough. He's more of a defensive player. But that second line, also plus. So the first line's plus 20. The second line is in the plus 10 range, all right? I'm hoping that the third line goes plus as well. So Jackson Kostopoulos, it was 7, 13, and, 7, 13. So he had 7 goals and 13 assists for 20 points. And he was a minus 18. So since the trade deadline, which is 20 games or something like that, he had 1 goal. Hang on a sec. 1 goal, 11 assists, so 12 points and a plus 4. 12 points and a plus 4 in 20 games played, correct? Are those numbers right? I might be screwing it up horribly. Hang on. 7, 13. That'll be 11, yeah. So 1 goal, 11 assists, and a plus 4 in the last 20-something games. So real good, real good. We got that third line playing well now. Zetterberg, a -6, 14 goals. So he went from 8 to 14 goals. This is what I mean about Zetterberg. He takes shots. I'll show you what I mean. Zetterberg. Now, he's gotten older, and he didn't get to play a lot this season, right? But, like, time on ice, only 11 minutes. But go back to a year, 18-19. This is year number 1. When he got 18 minutes time on ice, his shot, 230 shots a year. So I've put him with two guys, what's his name? Jackson Kostopoulos, who does not take shots. He passes the puck. Shots only 102 this year with 13 minutes time on attack. So this is what I mean about putting Jackson with like a shooter. You got to find someone where he can get the assists. He's clearly like a playmaker. Playmaker two-way forward. And same thing with, where is he? Nino Niederreiter. He takes more shots than Jackson, but less shots than Zetterberg, but he's got a better shooting percentage, but he can also get the assists, right? So I think that third line now, it's going to get it done. I think Zetterberg might have one more run in him. We have the shooter, we have the guy who can do both, and we have the dedicated two-way forward playmaker. I like that third line now. And then the fourth line, let me see. Fourth line was Miles Wood, who's a -3, but 20 points. All right, not bad. Larson, who's 11 points, only 49 games played, but an even player. Donskoy, McGinn. Yeah, very good. Who was the fourth line again? Schmaltz. There you go, Schmaltz. Schmaltz played the whole year on the third line, but I moved him down just because Zetterberg, I felt, was the better choice. Defenseman. All right, so Adam Bachfist in his sophomore year, correct? Or is it? No, it's his third year. Yeah, 49 points. Slowly going up. We just got to get some more offense for him on the first line power play, but his numbers should continue to go up. 86 overall, I think it was. Yeah, he's going to grow. Joka Harju, only 20 points. Jordan Schmaltz, 19. And Ekholm and Joka Harju were -2, but I think that was trending upwards, so that's good. Yeah, everything's good here. And then goaltenders, yeah, baby. That might be close to, he'll be in the Vezina talks. I don't know if he's going to win the Vezina. I'd say the Buffalo goaltender, because those goals against average was much better. 924 save percentage, 9 shutouts, and 40 wins. Solid year for Sergei Bobrovsky. Oh my God. Like the best free agent signing that I've had for Chicago here. You know what? I got to blow my nose. Hang on one second. Alright, that's a little bit better. Thank God we're at the end of the video. So, you know what I didn't do? I didn't take a look at the individual stats for every player around the NHL. Might as well do that right now. We can actually see if Sergei Bobrovsky had a chance of winning the Vezina this year. But I'm going to bet it's going to be that Buffalo goaltender. It's just a feeling I have. So, forwards. We have Nikita Kucherov. No one was point per game this year. Nikita Kucherov, 79 points. Ruchinski, Vaclav Ruchinski. When did this guy go? 6th overall in 2020, so the year number 2. Yeah, this guy's a shooter. 44 goals, 34 assists. Very good. Alex Ovechkin, 76. Tarasenko, Tavares, Sagan, Kuznetsov, Scarlett. Zachary Scarlett, when was he drafted? 1st overall in 2020. So year 2 players are starting to really shine through. Ishay Radulov, man, McDavid. What the hell, McDavid? 69 points. EA Sports, get on your shit. Defenseman. Let me see here. Erik Karlsson, Ekman Larson. So the Super Swedes are killing it. Karlsson, Ekman Larson. Where is Bachfist? Bachfist is down there. He's made the top 10 list. All right, very good. And goaltenders. All right, so let me see who's got the best save. Yeah, oh yeah, he's got it for sure, man, for sure. 46 wins on the year, 13 shutouts, and a save percentage of .934 with a goals against right at 2. He's probably pissed off he couldn't get that to .199. Oh man, Ben Bishop would have gotten. Yeah, I might have beaten Ben Bishop. My save percentage is slightly better, goals against slightly better, but he's got more wins. I got less losses, shutouts. Yeah, the same. I got to give it to Luckinen for sure, man. For sure. All right, and last but not least, let's see, rookie skaters. There's no way Jackson got it yet. Gaspard Godot, 1st overall in year number 3. So the guy that they just drafted 1st overall. A very good season for them. 20 goals, 31 assists. Rogers, Suzuki, where is he? Oh my God, not a good year. Not a good year. Kostopoulos, 32 points. If only I had him alongside of Zetterberg the whole time, man. He would have been on pace for a 51-point season. That's okay. Don't worry about it, Jackson. It's playoff time, and that's when you show up anyways. So, a very good year for the Chicago Blackhawks, year number 4. I got us back in year number 1. Got swept year number 2. Got beat in round 2 to the defending Stanley Cup champion Winnipeg Jets. Year 3 last year, Stanley Cup final loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 6, I believe it was. So now it's time to repeat. We've got to get back to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we've got to win that cup because the window is closing. Next year, we're not going to be as good as we are this year. I don't think so. So it's now or never. I mean, we get to try again next year, and once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. We'll have a few young players up and coming, but I love this team right now. And you know what? We have a clean bill of health. I think I went through the entire year without an injury, only to the AHL squad, so very good. But this is your year 4 team that I'm hoping can win the cup. Panarin, DeBrincat, Kane, Bjorkstrand, Taves, Nemestikov, Kostopoulos, Zetterberg, and Niederreiter. I love that top 9 right now. Larson, Schmaltz, and Wood. And on the point, Sanheim, Bachfist, Jokiharju, Ekholm, Keith, and Schmaltz. And I'm going to need you, Sergey. I'm going to need you. If we're going to win the cup, you need to play like a stud for 16 wins, all right? And if you guys have any suggestions on who we can bring up, look at Andronov now. He's up to an 81 overall. Now, he's a playmaker, right? So this is the guy for me who replaces Zetterberg. That's it. He replaces Zetterberg, and maybe he plays alongside of Kostopoulos. If someone gets injured in the playoffs, he comes up. But I don't think I play him in the playoffs right away. I don't think that's a good idea. Kurt Adams and Johnson still growing. Kabanoff is up to a 75 overall. Very good. And defensively, Jensen is still at 79. And Punanov's up to 74. So it's all coming together. We just got to win the cup, and then it'll be perfect. All right? I can ride off into the sunset with the future bright and the past bright for the Chicago Blackhawks. So let me know, boys. And I will see you tomorrow. Hey guys, Johnny here, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure notifications are on so you don't miss out on any new content. We also live stream on Twitch where I take days off my life for your entertainment. Sonny Gray, get out of it. You stupid pieces of shit! I should have gone with Jose for Fernandez! Oh my God, pitching change. Fernandez, get your ass in there. Oh, I swear to God, baseball God just decided to all over me. Grand slam, oh yeah. Make me miss the playoffs with a first-ranked team. Year 2, 30 games above 500, no divisional win, trip to the wild card. First inning.